Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our new facility for press conferences. So hopefully you find that this works out very well. Bonjour. So as everyone knows, I'm Sergeant Paul Maneg with the Manitoba RCMP. Je suis Sergeant Paul Maneg avec la GRC du Manitoba. We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and that Manitoba is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Ashininu, Dakota, Dene, and the Tho nations. That Manitoba is located on the homeland of the Red River Métis, and northern Manitoba includes lands that were and are the ancestral lands of the Inuit. We respect the spirit and the intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. Nous reconnaissons que nous sommes rassemblés sur les territoires du traité numéro 1 et que le Manitoba est situé sur les territoires visés par les traités et les terres ancestrales de diverses nations, à savoir les Anishinaabe, les Ashininu, les Dakota, les Dene et les Nahoto Nations. Nous reconnaissons que le Manitoba est situé sur la terre natale de la nation métisse de la Rivière-Rouge et que le nord du Manitoba comprend le territoire qui était et demeure le territoire ancestral des Inuits. Nous respectons l'esprit et l'intention des traités et de leur élaboration et nous engageons à travailler en partenariat avec les Premières Nations, les Métis et les Inuits dans un esprit de vérité, de réconciliation et de collaboration. Thank you all for coming today. Merci d'être venu aujourd'hui. With me today is Sergeant Kathy Farrell of the Manitoba RCMP's Human Trafficking Unit, Janet Campbell, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Joy Smith Foundation, and Diana Bussey, the Executive Director, Correctional and Justice Services for the Salvation Army. Je suis accompagné aujourd'hui par Sergeante Kathy Farrell, l'unité de lutte contre la traite des personnes de la GRC du Manitoba, Janet Campbell, présidente et directrice générale de la Joy Smith Foundation, et Diana Bussey, directrice générale des services correctionnels et judiciaires de l'Armée du Salut. Sergeant Kathy Farrell will be speaking on a labor trafficking investigation that led to the arrest of 2 individuals in Portage la Prairie. The Sergeant Kathy Farrell parlera d'une enquête sur la traite des travailleurs qui a mené à l'arrestation de 2 personnes à Portage la Prairie. Following Sergeant Farrell's remarks, they will be provided in French. Afterwards, we will hear from Janet Campbell and Diana Bussey. Après les remarques du Sergent Farrell, celles-ci seront lues en français. Ensuite, nous entendrons de Janet Campbell et Diana Bussey. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being here, and a special thanks to our partners, the Joy Smith Foundation and the Salvation Army. Without a doubt, the work being done by these organizations is critically important to creating awareness and helping survivors of sex and labor trafficking. Many of this province may not be aware that labor trafficking is even occurring in Manitoba. This is why we're all here today, not only to highlight this recent investigation, but also bring attention to an issue in our province that is often hidden in plain sight. Labor trafficking is a form of human trafficking. It involves recruiting, moving, and holding victims to coerce them into doing any kind of work. Migrant workers, newcomers, and vulnerable persons are usually targeted by labor traffickers and are most at risk. Often traffickers pressure victims to work by force through threats, mental and emotional abuse, and manipulation, or even by withholding important identification documents, such as passports. While today we'll be speaking about an investigation linked to the hospitality industry, labor trafficking occurs in a range of industries, including construction, agriculture, manufacturing, food processing, restaurants, and the trucking industry. In terms of the investigation, the Manitoba's RCMP Human Trafficking Unit recently completed a 5-month investigation into suspected labor trafficking at a business in the RM of Portage la Prairie. The investigation began on February 9th when Portage RCMP members received a call of a disturbance in their community. During the initial investigation, an additional complaint was received about possible human trafficking at that location. At the time, two female victims came forward, and as the investigation progressed, 2 additional victims were identified. Officers discovered the victims were recruited from another country and promised legal work, fair wages, and affordable living in Manitoba through what is known as a labor market impact assessment, also known as an LMIA. However, the victims were working 15-hour days and being paid well under minimum wage requirements. In addition, threats of deportation, intimidation tactics were being used to keep victims working. In one instance, the victims' identification documents were being withheld. The promised LMIA, which would have legalized their work in our country, went unfulfilled for 3 of the 4 victims. On June 12, 2025, a 62-year-old male, Jayender Sandhu, an owner of the hotel, was arrested and charged with 4 counts of trafficking in persons, receiving material benefit from trafficking, withholding or destroying documents, and 2 counts of uttering threats. A 48-year-old female, Satbir Sandhu, also owner of the hotel, has been charged with 4 counts of trafficking in humans in persons, material benefit from trafficking, and material benefit from trafficking. Our goal from the outset was to help these victims of labor trafficking. They all came to Canada in good faith, believing they were going to work legally and be protected. Instead, they were threatened and forced to work for very little pay. We, along with our partners, remain committed to helping these victims and all others within the province who are being trafficked. It's important that employees know their rights and recognize these while they are working. Employers should never threaten you with violence, threats of arrest, or deportation. Employers do not have the right to ask for your pay or any portion of your pay that has been promised to you. Employers should never control who you speak with. An employer-provided housing should be sanitary and safe. Employers should never keep your documents and your personal identification. We urge anyone who needs help or is concerned about someone they know to contact their local police service or to speak with other available community resources. As Manitobans, we all have a role to play to stop sex and labor trafficking. If you see something, say something. And if you're wrong, it's okay, but if you're right, you could save someone's life. Together, we can make this province a safe place to work and live for all who come here in the hopes of a better life. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Now I'll provide the same remarks in French, and then we'll hear from Janet and Diana. Bonjour à tous et merci d'être ici aujourd'hui. Un merci tout particulier à nos partenaires, la Fondation Joy Smith, l'Armée du Salut et Traces Trust. Il ne fait aucun doute que le travail accompli par ces organisations est essentiel pour sensibiliser le public et d'aider les victimes de la traite à des fins sexuelles et de travail forcé. Bien des gens dans la province ne savent pas que la traite de main-d'œuvre est belle et bien présente au Manitoba. Voilà pourquoi nous sommes ici aujourd'hui. Notre objectif n'est pas seulement de souligner l'enquête récemment réalisée par la GRC, mais aussi pour attirer l'attention sur un problème qui est souvent caché à la vue de tous. La traite de main-d'œuvre est une forme de traite de personnes. Elle consiste à recruter, à déplacer ou à retenir une victime pour la contraindre à travailler, peu importe le type de travail. Les travailleurs migrants, les nouveaux arrivants et les personnes vulnérables sont généralement la cible des trafiquants de main-d'œuvre et sont les plus à risque. Souvent, ces trafiquants obligent les victimes à travailler par la force ou des menaces. notamment en recourant à la manipulation et à l'abus psychologique et émotif, et même par la rétention de leurs pièces d'identité. Bien, aujourd'hui, il soit question d'une enquête liée au secteur de l'hôtellerie, la traite de main-d'œuvre se produit dans divers secteurs, notamment la construction, l'agriculture, la fabrication, la transformation des aliments et la restauration. Le groupe de la traite des personnes de la GRC au Manitoba a récemment réalisé une enquête de 5 mois concernant les activités de traite de main-d'œuvre dans une entreprise de la municipalité rurale de Portage la Prairie. L'enquête a été lancée le 9 février 2025 lorsque les policiers du Détachement de la GRC de Portage la Prairie ont répondu à une plainte de tapage dans un hôtel de la collectivité. Pendant l'enquête initiale, une autre plainte a été déposée concernant les activités de traite de main-d'œuvre présumées à ce même établissement. À ce moment-là, 2 femmes victimes ont communiqué avec la police. Durant l'enquête, 2 autres victimes qui travaillent également à l'hôtel ont été identifiées. Les policiers ont déterminé que les victimes avaient été recrutées dans un pays étranger et qu'on leur avait promis un travail légal, un salaire équitable et un logement abordable au Manitoba, au moyen d'une étude d'impact sur le marché du travail. Cependant, les victimes devaient travailler 15 heures par jour et étaient payées à un taux bien inférieur au salaire minimum requis. En outre, des menaces d'expulsion et des tactiques d'imitation étaient utilisées pour obliger les victimes à continuer de travailler. Dans un cas, les pièces d'identité de la victime avaient été confisquées. Pour 3 des 4 victimes, les études d'impact sur le marché du travail promises qui auraient légalisé leur emploi au Canada n'ont pas été respectées. Le 12 juin 2025, un homme de 62 ans, Jai Inder Sandhu, propriétaire de l'hôtel, a été arrêté et accusé des infractions suivantes. 4 chefs de traite de personnes, avantage matériel, traite de personnes, rétention ou destruction de documents, trafic, et 2 chefs de profération de menaces. Une femme de 48 ans, Satbir Sandhu, qui est également propriétaire de l'hôtel, a été accusée des infractions suivantes. 4 chefs de traite de personnes et avantage matériel, traite de personnes. Dès le départ, notre objectif était d'aider ces victimes de traite de main-d'œuvre. Ces personnes sont venues au Canada de bonne foi et croyaient qu'elles allaient travailler légalement et être protégées. Malheureusement, elles ont été menacées et forcées de travailler en échange d'un salaire très faible. En collaboration avec nos partenaires, nous restons déterminés à aider ces victimes et toute autre personne dans la province qui est victime de traite de personnes. Il est important pour les employés de connaître et de reconnaître leurs droits lorsqu'ils travaillent. Un employeur n'a pas le droit de menacer un employé de violence, d'arrestation ou d'expulsion. Un employeur n'a pas le droit de réclamer le salaire d'un employé ou une partie du salaire qui lui a été promis. Un employeur n'a pas le droit de contrôler avec qui un employé parle. Les logements fournis par l'employeur doivent être sûrs et salubres. Un employeur n'a pas le droit de prendre ni de retenir des pièces d'identité de employés. Si vous avez besoin d'aide ou si vous connaissez une personne qui a besoin d'aide, communiquez avec le service de police local ou d'autres ressources communautaires. En tant que Manitobains, nous avons tous un rôle à jouer pour mettre fin à la traite des personnes à des fins sexuelles et à des fins d'exploitation par le travail. Si vous voyez quelque chose, dites-le. Si vous n'êtes pas sûr, ce n'est pas grave, signalez-le. Vous pouvez vous tromper, mais si vous avez raison, vous pourriez sauver une vie. Ensemble, nous pouvons faire de notre province un endroit sécuritaire où vivre et travailler pour toute personne qui vient s'y installer dans l'espoir d'une vie meilleure. Merci. Now we'll hear from Janet, if she'd like to come to the podium.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm honored to be here, and I want to begin by commending Sergeant Farrell and her amazing human trafficking unit for their work on this case. These investigations are very complex, and their efforts truly do make a huge difference in the lives of the individuals that are impacted by this and also the safety of our community. So thank you for your work. At the Joyce Smith Foundation, we certainly understand that reaching out for help isn't always easy. When somebody has been isolated, threatened, misled, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty that goes along with that and what will happen to them if they speak up. So we just want to encourage people to feel free to reach out to the foundation, joycesmithfoundation.com. If you want information to really learn, they talked about if you see something, say something. And I think if people understand the issue of forced labor more broadly, the community can be an incredibly powerful tool in the effort to identify these things and speak up. So we are a trusted and independent place that people can reach out for support. Our team is confidential with anything that is brought to us for assistance. And whether you're experiencing victimization yourself or you're a community member that sees something and you're just not quite sure, I would really encourage you to reach out to our office, and we can certainly help you to navigate that and understand the options and figure out some next steps. I encourage everybody to learn more about forced labor and the impact in the community. Education truly is our greatest weapon as we work to combat this. And really nobody should be forced to live in fear in our great country, and everyone deserves to be safe. So we're here to help, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Janet. Diana?
Good afternoon. It's good to be here with you all, and thank you too for everything that you do. The Salvation Army supports people in many different and difficult circumstances, such as modern slavery and human trafficking. We continue to see an increase of human trafficking, and this past year a significant increase, particularly for the purposes of labor trafficking. The Salvation Army, along with others in the community, supports those who are exploited, as well as those who are vulnerable to being exploited, by helping with food and shelter and connecting to specialized resources. We encourage people to reach out to us, to service agencies, to other faith communities, or to someone that they trust if they feel that they are in need of assistance, or if they have questions, or just want to learn more about trafficking and exploitation. So we have provided an email address and phone number. If that's the best way for you to reach out, please do use those. Prevention and awareness is critical for everybody, for all of us. And the Salvation Army works hard to raise awareness of human trafficking in all of its forms, what it is, how it might present in community, as well as how people are groomed and manipulated into it. And we all need to respond and fight against human trafficking. And we all can fight and respond to human trafficking as well. So do please check out our website at www.salvationist.ca/trafficking. And there you'll find lots of information and resources, as well as some online training. And so I just really encourage you, that training, it's free, it's online, it's work at your own pace, doesn't have to be all at once. It can be in bits and pieces, but do reach out. You do need to register, but I highlight that. And I guess as the world of human trafficking response evolves to support those who are victimized, we too seek to step in where we can with meeting human needs and providing the best response that is filled with hope and dignity for everybody.